my channel. It's Elizabeth Elliott here. I'm with my newest homeowner in St. Johns County, Florida, my videographer, Matt. So Matt, we are going to interview today to talk about what it's like to buy a home as someone a part of Gen Z. So, hi Matt, welcome to my channel.
Hi Liz, thanks for having me on today.
It's like he's never been here before.
I've never seen your videos before today.
Yeah, I know. Like, poor guy, he does all the editing behind the scenes, and now I'm making him be on this side of the camera. So, thanks for being here, Matt. I really wanted Matt to be on this video because very rarely do I work with a buyer who is in their 20s buying a single family home. And it's very difficult these days to buy a house for young people. And I wanted to talk to you about how did we get here? How can somebody who's in your shoes get to where you are? So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing that I think would be good to talk about is the pre-approval process, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that there was a video of yours that I saw probably about 8 times as I was editing it.
Okay. You learned a lot.
I did. And if you haven't looked at her previous videos, be sure to go back and watch her playlists that we've been curating on the channel for the past year and a half, because you're really missing out on some really, really awesome information. But yeah, before we really could even get into that process, we had to get pre-approval because you know, that really tells the sellers and really kind of tells me as a buyer, you know, what is my price point that I can comfortably work within. And you know, something to consider too is sometimes what you'll get pre-approved for is not necessarily where you want to shop. In my specific instance, I was being pre-approved for numbers higher than I wanted to spend. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. I want to come down a little bit lower, and that you know, kind of made it a little bit easier in certain aspects for as we were searching. But you know, took care of that. Then went off looking for houses.
Wait, pause. So most Gen Zers though are afraid of getting pre-approved because I think they're afraid of the no, or they're afraid of the truth, or they're afraid of having too low a credit. What would you say to someone who's in your generation and it's like, no, I'm gonna wait till like all the stars are aligned and everything, I feel perfect before I do? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, the stars are never gonna be aligned. You know, there's, what was it that I told you when we got started? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. For her, it's being in front of the camera. But you know, to Gen Zs, I would say, right, is it's you know, if you're wanting to buy a home, you need to find out if you, like, for one, if you can afford it, and 2, what you can afford, because that'll help steer your search. And you know, you may find that, hey, in order to get the $500,000, you know, single family home in, I don't know, in St. Johns County, whatever, you need to be making X amount of money per year. And it's like, if you're making not that, then it's like, okay, cool, something's got to give here.
Another thing I would say, a lot of my clients and friends in their 20s who are small business owners are getting paid like through Venmo or Zelle and things like that. You really need to be paying taxes and showing the IRS that you make an income. Yep. I've worked with a lot of people your age that want to buy a house and they make this much money. Let's say they're like a personal trainer or something like that. That's not my trainer, but I'm just saying, you've got to claim the money that you're making in order to show the government that you make that so that you can buy a house.
And you got to watch your deductions too, because part of the pre-approval is based on your net, right? So if you make $200,000 a year, but you spend 160, you're only showing a 40 gross or 40 net revenue, then that's going to reflect poorly on your ability to buy, say, a $500,000 property.
Right. And also, like, don't go buy a fancy car right now. Like, buy the car after you close on your house, because the car people don't really care, but the house people do care. What?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Buy assets, not liabilities.
100%.
Great book if you haven't read it. Link in the description below.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It'll be linked in the description. Okay, so you bit the bullet, you've done a pre-approval. What happened next for you? What did we do? We looked online, basically.
I sent you a Zillow wish list, and you were like, Matthew, you're awesome, but stop it. So
I think you sent me a list of like 30 homes.
Yep, and then she was like, no.
All over the place, by the way, like here, all like an hour apart. That's okay, because everybody does that because they don't know.
Yep.
So really, it's like getting that list of 30 down.
Yeah, and then you cull that down to, like, you know, good 5 to 10. which we went and we visited, but then on further review, found that they wouldn't be a good fit for me for various reasons. I know, some of them we were looking at over in, the Orange Park, Middleburg area, property taxes were going to be much higher than I wanted to pay. And that was going to basically take a house similar to what we're staying in right now and almost blow that out of my price range as far as what I wanted to spend. And then,
which I don't mean to interrupt you, but when you do your pre-approval process, it's based on an address, right? It's not just I'm pre-approved for X. You're actually going to send the address in to the lender of the home you want so that they can calculate the taxes, insurance, and HOA into your payment. And so you might not, on one address, like the payment versus the other, depending on where it's located in the taxes.
But yeah, so after that, we looked for at different properties, found a couple that were like, okay, I like this floor plan. Then we started exploring new construction properties, in new construction communities. And then from there, we walked a few plans, found one that fit the bill.
Yeah, pick the floor plan and the community first.
Yep.
And then we found a plot of dirt. We were standing here. This was a plot of dirt when we found it.
Actually, no, we found the one 2 doors down.
Yeah, so we actually, with Matt, we made an offer on a house a couple doors down, and guess what? Someone else made an offer right before we did, and they got it first.
It sold while we were in it.
Oh shit! I told him, we walked into that house, and I was like, Matt, if you don't buy this house, I'm gonna buy this house.
And someone beat you to it too.
Yeah. So this is real estate in St. Johns County, and we're on water views with a low HOA. I mean, it's hard to find something like this high quality at this price point. So.
And I mean, really quick, I just want to make a note as far as how this one came to be was during the process after the one sold while we were in it. Part of it's don't get discouraged because it just means that there's a better deal out there somewhere. And in this case, it was 2 doors down and an additional $30,000 over 30 years. So I was like, okay. And when we found it, this was just a dirt lot. There really wasn't anything here, which made it very easy to not be competitive with because everyone's looking for the properties that are already full or built or almost done. And if you have a flexible timeline, that kind of gives you an advantage as far as getting new construction properties.
Yeah. So once you've picked out your lot and your floor plan, now the hardest part is waiting, I think.
Well, I mean, for me, it was less waiting. It was just passing the time. This has been kind of a record-breaking year in business for me. So the time has flown by. I mean, we were looking at these properties in March or April or whatever, and then we're in August. And I mean, the time's just flown by. And I would say, if you're in a position where you don't have to worry about your timeline, I think that's going to serve you very well if you're looking at new construction.
So what are your top 3 pieces of advice?
Ooh, okay.
For somebody in their 20s trying to buy a house, what are your top 3 pieces of advice?
So I would say, first one is to embrace discomfort. I know a lot of people, I've seen this continuous move in the direction of victim mentalities amongst Gen Z, in the sense of everyone's looking for a handout, everyone's looking for, No
one's coming to save you. Yeah,
no one's coming to save you. It's up to you to grab your life and do what you want to do with it. In my case, a wise man once told me that money is the stored energy of human time and labor, or something to that extent. And what I kind of look at that as is, you take that and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy something with it. In this case, a asset which is appreciating in value over time. So one, embrace discomfort, forego the victim mentality. We're seeing this huge, movement of people that are, again, looking for handouts and really not, either not wanting to work or feel discouraged given the greater economic perspective of our country right now, which is concerning. But what I urge people to look at is, don't see that as a sense of discouragement. See it as an opportunity, because your competition is in a way lower than ever right now.
Buy low,
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah. Exactly. I've had multiple single moms, teachers on single incomes, all buy homes in this past year because they had like 2 pennies to rub together in a dream. So it's totally possible if you're willing to do your research, talk to the right people, save, budget, and do all those things.
Yeah, I mean, kind of second piece of advice is just financial literacy. You know, we don't learn how to do these things in school. We don't learn how to manage money, to balance an account, to, you know, buy assets or assess the value of assets. And, you know,
People want to look rich and buy liabilities.
Yes. And I was the same way. I wanted a Corvette, but I was like, I'm gonna go buy a house first.
Yes, buy the house before the fancy car, please. For the long
Just need somewhere to park it, right?
Oh my God, have you seen how many fancy cars are parked in rental apartment complexes? I'm just saying.
Doom spending. Cut that. But yeah, no, like I would say, you know, for someone in Gen Z that's wanting to buy a house, you know, really do your research in the sense of learn how to manage and invest money in order to grow and multiply your wealth, because that is what's going to serve you in the long term. But I mean, third piece of advice would just be to not give up, right? You know, it's tough. I mean, you know, to do this, you know, this video has been technically 3 years in the making since I started my company. And you know, it's been 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, if not more. I don't even know what day it is, the day that we're recording this. I just know what I have to do today. But to that same instance, right? It's, you know, if you want something, then go for it, right? Don't let someone place limits or parameters around you and what you can do. In the sense of, you know, if you want a house, you can have it. You just got to work for it. And yeah, you can have anything that you put your mind to.
I'm so proud. I feel like real estate mom proud. I'm his real estate mom.
Thanks, real estate mom.
Thank you for making me better on camera, and I'm happy to be here for you on your very special day. So
let's go.
Let's all give Matt special props on his on his special day. This is like having a baby, except you're having a house built for you. So congrats.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of him, and shoot him some happy comments below saying congrats to Matt on his closing day, and for making all these videos to help you guys who may be out of state try and move down here. It's all because this guy makes me look a lot better on camera than I actually am.
She says that. I just press buttons.
Okay, well, if you have any questions, you can always leave me a comment below and I'll answer you. You can follow me on Instagram at LizSellsJax. Remember to subscribe, follow, share, do all the things. And Matt and I will see you on the next one.
Well, you'll see her. I'll be behind the camera.